And welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
And today we continue our romp through December of mystery. Murder. A murder mystery.
Murder.
There has been a murder. Knives Out Glass Onion Edition. Benoit Blanc is back. Hashtag Chris Evans is in jail.
For murder.
For murder.
Most foul.
Same. This is my second time seeing it. I saw it in theaters for like 3 days. It was in theaters. I didn't know it was only in theaters for 3 days.
Yeah, it was like pretty limited.
Yeah. Pretty limited. Limited power. And I had it. This is Chris' first time seeing it, so that's cool.
Yes.
So we are watching it. We watched it, and you're gonna get our review.
Yes.
Same. Obviously a sequel. There's gonna be a trequel coming out hopefully soon. I don't know when. I don't know the logistics behind the third one. But Netflix saw the first one and was like, here's $1 million, make 2 more to Rian Johnson. And they were like, don't fuck up any more Star Wars, just make some Knives Out.
And good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Honestly, because first one was great, and I'll let you know how I feel about this one.
Same.
So I mean, honestly, just judging from those 2 things that I just said, and the way I said it earlier, I think that was a great idea. You can probably guess how I felt about this movie.
Yeah, the third one's probably going to be pretty good. I wonder what it's going to be called.
I wonder who's going to be in it.
Benoit Blanc.
Well, yeah, aside from him.
That's
Because,
what matters.
the first one had some good people. This one had some good people in it. And Benoit Blanc and Hugh Grant, hilarious. Good for them both. Just,
Well, there were a lot of superstar cameos in this movie.
yeah,
A lot.
a lot of people.
A ton of just cameos in general. There were a ton. So, right at the very beginning, right at the end, in the middle, walking around doing nothing, smoking Chiba, smoking some grass. Just a ton. So, either way, today we're just drinking slushies. Orange.
Delicious.
Orangelo. It's my cousin. Anywho. Let's see. Anything else? Guess we should get started with the cast. Huh?
Yeah, I got it ready.
Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
At Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers, need some likes. All right, welcome back. Let's get right into it with the cast of Glass Onion: Knives Out. With Chris.
There it is. I need my intro.
Oh, is that what you're...
The full thing, please.
That's what she said.
Hey. First up, we have
This is it.
returning. That's what he said. Returning character Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. Amazing. Mm-hmm. We have Edward Norton as Miles Braun. On this one, I feel like he would have had his opportunity to Hulk out in this movie. Janelle Monáe as Andy Brand / Helen Brand. Catherine Hahn as Claire DeBella. Leslie Odom Jr. as Lionel Toussaint. Kate Hudson as Birdie J. Former World Heavyweight Champion. Former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Dave Bautista as Duke Cody. Jessica Henwick as Peg, and I figured out where I know her from. Mm-hmm. from
Same.
like all the Netflix Marvel stuff. She was Colleen.
Oh no,
What did you?
Matrix.
Ah,
She was in the new one.
oh,
I think she was the white
she
rabbit.
bugs.
Yeah.
Okay. Madeline Klein as Whiskey. We'll get to him in a second. Jackie Hoffman as Ma. Duke Cody as Batista's mom. Dallas Roberts as Devin DeBella. Agatha Harkness's husband. Ethan Hawke as the efficient man on the dock, who I thought he was somebody, but I couldn't place it. You got him for me. Hugh Grant as Philip. Benoit Blanc's, who knows, roommate, partner, sidekick. We'll see. They're making another one, so we'll see.
Guess we'll find out.
All right. Now we got some cameos. I'm saving him for last. But we've got Stephen Sondheim as himself, the like musical writer and all that stuff. Natasha Lyonne as herself, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as himself, and the late Angela Lansbury as herself on was that a Zoom call? Hilarious.
Well, no, they were playing. Shit. What was that game called? Damn it.
They were playing Among Us.
Among Us, yeah, they were playing Among Us.
Yeah, they were playing Among Us on like Zoom or whatever. Serena Williams as herself. Yo-Yo Ma as himself, which I didn't realize that's who that was, but that's hilarious because he's the dude who dissected the musical or the music part. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Hourly Dong. Hilarious. Porn name also probably. And the person I was saving for last is, where is he? Where'd he go?
What'd you say, Angie?
Did
you say Angie?
Angela Lansbury? Oh, yes. Where'd he go?
He's like in the middle. He's right after Madeline Klein.
Noah Segan as Daryl. And we saw him in the last one as Troopa Wagner. Hilarious. I thought he was the killer for a second. I really did. But
Stephen Sondheim. Did you say him?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I said Stephen Sondheim and
You know
Angela Lansbury.
what he wrote?
Not specifically.
He wrote damn it. What's that show called? With Johnny Depp.
Oh, shit. Sweeney Todd. Yes.
Damn, I can't think of it.
Did you write this? Stephen Sondheim wrote this. Hilarious.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Yeah, good time. Also, fun fact: Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a cameo in all of Rian Johnson's movies. I didn't know it either.
Was he in Last Jedi?
He is. He does. I think he does a trooper's voice. So did Daniel Craig too.
I was gonna say so did Daniel Craig. Yeah.
No, he does.
But
one
he
in
was in Force Awakens. Still, yeah. Well, that's not his. That wasn't his movie. That was Abrams, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. But he does one in the first Knives Out. I forget. He's one of the. I think when he does, aren't they watching like a TV show and there's like a sheriff or something? There's something like a sheriff or something in the first Knives Out. And
I think you're right. I think I'm gonna look for it real quick. I think you're right. I remember it was like on the TV, like a voice, maybe a voice clip or something.
Yeah, I only found that out because
I think it was on the phone. It says Detective Hard Rock voice.
Yeah, he always does one for Rian Johnson.
And he was in Last Jedi. He was Slow and Low, who I think was the dude who is talking to the cops in the gambling city and tells them and so like, oh, their ship parked over on the beach. I think that was him.
Very true. Yep. He does one all the time. Rian Johnson also directed the movie with JGL and Bruce Willis. Damn it. It's one of my favorite movies too, and I can't think of it. It's about time travel, and I can't think of it.
Oh, but, I think you told me about it.
Yeah, JGL is like a young Bruce Willis, and
you told me about that. I can't.
Emily Blunt's in that too.
It's not Looper, is it?
Yeah, Looper.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That was Ryan Johnson's movie. It's a great movie, actually. I think it's a really good movie, personally. But yeah,
that is the cast of Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At least that's what it was listed as on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't see that.
So I'm going to throw it over to Keith for the plot. Wait, no. Yeah, for the plot, yes.
Hey!
I was going to say, wait, we did that first. No, we didn't. That's the old format. It's been a couple weeks for me. So,
that's the old format from a year ago.
Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks.
I mean, it's been a couple weeks since we recorded, so, I'm a little rusty.
Little rusties.
I'll knock some of that off.
And a whole lot of... Well, I forget what he says. Stuff for cars. Okay, so the plot. Basically, there's a murder. Mystery. So is eccentric billionaire Miles Braun throws a murder mystery party. He invites a slew of characters and
for sure
Benoit Blanc. Benoit Blanc doesn't know why he's there. No one is dead. Then honestly,
or are they?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Like, if I'm thinking about a plot without spoiling the movie, if I had to say a plot without spoiling the movie,
I don't know if you can.
Well, I mean, if I'm thinking, so that's what I try to do with the plot. Try not to spoil the movie. You think about like a trailer. There's a mystery afoot. The game is afoot, and there's a murder mystery. Someone's going to die. We don't know who. And Benoit Blanc is a detective on the case. Someone's going to die while Benoit is there. We don't know who's going to die. We don't know when they're going to die. And Benoit Blanc is there while they die. And we have to figure it out at the same time Benoit does. At the same time, there is a murder mystery happening at the same time. So, but we're back to our old tricks. There's a lot of murder and a lot of intrigue.
My little heart can't take no more.
Barely taking it anymore. Honestly, it's just a movie you really got to see because it starts from the very beginning with a very convoluted series of clues. It starts off in the 2020s. When everybody was wearing masks and see-through mask and no mask and all this other stuff. It's right in the middle of the pando, as some people call it. And it's just good. I mean, honestly, that's all I can say. And then, spoiler alert, we're going to spoil the rest coming from... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert's in full effect.
Yeah.
Also,
not that we didn't already.
I almost got spoiled in this movie like a million fucking times this past week. Yeah. So
I would say we kind of spoiled it with the cast already, but that's fine.
Since it came to Netflix, this movie was all over them internets.
Literally, like the day it came out, I saw so many. I was like, well, I've seen it. So
yeah. So Keith saw it in the theater. Chris did not see it in the theater, unfortunately. I feel like this would have been a good movie to see in the theater, but also I probably would have been like, I might have been a little too animated for the theater because I had a lot of stuff happening in my head while I was watching this. Seeing it on a big screen might have made me act up a little bit.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
Damn it.
Maybe
act up.
I don't know.
I mean, hey, Benoit has that effect on the ladies.
And gentlemen.
And him and Charles, I mean, they do something. I know my effect on the ladies.
Get him in the next one. That'd be great.
It'd be good.
Don't kill him.
I forgot Leslie Odom was in Murder on the Orient
Express. Yeah. I was like, this dude looks super familiar. Like I saw him in something just recently. And I looked through his thing. I was like, well, that's why it's literally like the last movie that we watched. Not the last movie that I watched, but the last movie that we watched.
Facts. Yeah, fair. Let's get to the likes.
Let's do it.
And dislikes, if there are any.
Let's do it.
There might be. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
There might be. No, you can go.
Let's switch it up. Can we go first?
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn. She was the first person I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine Hahn can do no wrong for me. She is hilarious. And this is the second, maybe third time I've seen her play a politician. She's funny.
Yes.
And in the 2020s, everybody was funny when they got on the news. So you're working from home like everybody. Yes, this is the business center, the conference room, and the kindergarten. We're all stressing out. Hilarious to me.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Because everybody was doing the same thing, and I didn't understand what you were laughing at first when she signed the package, but she covered her mouth with her coat. I never saw that.
Yeah, because it said as soon as it said 2020, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And she opened the door and immediately like covers her face with her coat, and then they pull back and the delivery dude has a mask on. I was like, that's hilarious.
Hilarious. I didn't even notice it, and then it took me a minute. And I was like, that's fair. That's fair. Here's the thing: during the pandemic, during the ongoing pandemic, in the beginning of it, we were at home, me and my fiance, because I have a immunocompromised son, so we didn't work. So when we ordered food, they had the whole no touching. What is it called? Not no touching.
Social distancing.
No touching. Yeah, social distancing. No contact delivery.
Yeah, that's it.
These delivery people didn't understand no fucking contact delivery.
They're coming, I'm like shaking your hand and shit.
They were like, delivery. I'm like, okay, set on the door. Okay.
Come in?
Yeah, literally. I'm like, bro.
Just opens the door.
Hey, I got your pizza here. How you doing? Good? Yeah, it's a great day for me. I was like, sir, this is not what I wanted. Like, I wanted the pizza, but not you telling me your whole life story.
The box is open. He's like breathing on it and shit.
Like, literally. I was like, sir, can you just set it on the floor? But there were like 2 times. This one person, they had, it only happened twice. They had like a little cardboard setup where like, they set that on the ground, and then they set the pizzas on top.
Like suspended it.
I was like, hey. And she was at the bottom of our stairs. This is when we lived. This is when we were in an apartment. Yeah. At the bottom of the stairs. And they're like, I was like, hey, thanks. That was it. 2 times. Never happened again.
Just sets it up at the top, goes back down. Pizza!
Yeah.
Doesn't even knock, just fucking yells at
No, they did it. They did it, knocked, and it was like, boom. After that, everybody who delivered were just at the door. Because there's a button that says, do you want no contact? I'm like, yes, no contact. I just want to grab it and go.
Yes, I would not like to have contact. Maybe confusing.
It's as clear as I could possibly get.
Yeah.
Anyway, Catherine Hahn, she was funny.
Yes.
She was funny the entire time. When she was in the pool, though, she was so fucking pale. But she was funny. She was hilarious.
Yes.
And I love her.
Okay. No. I mean, that kind of touches on what the first thing I wrote down was COVID movie.
COVID movie.
Everyone was wearing masks. Like you said, when she opened the door, she like pulled her shirt up to cover her face. When Leslie Odom Jr.'s character got the box delivered, he was like, yeah, we wiped it out. We wiped it down. I was like, yep, people did that too. They all showed up to the party wearing masks, and that dumb bitch Birdie had like it wasn't even lace. It was just like, I don't know, like threads, just like draped over her face. Like you could see her whole face through it. It was like 3 strings over her face. Like that was hilarious.
Because I saw somebody on Twitter say this was what it was like in California. Birdie was California for sure.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, yeah, I believe you.
That's hilarious. Because like she had that stupid fucking mask on because she was fucking stupid.
Then when she took it off,
Yeah, and then she took it off. I was like, oh, I can finally breathe again. I was like, you stupid bitch. I hate you so
By
much.
the way, that's one of my likes. Bernie's mask.
Only thing that could have been better is if she was smoking also.
Like, do it.
Yeah. Oh, I can finally breathe without that mask. But no, like she had her mask. They went to, when Benoit and Helen went to the restaurant, the waiter had a mask and a face shield.
Good for him.
Everyone was like social distancing. The when they showed Birdie at her party, and they called her like, "Should you be really having a party right now?" It's like, "No, that's fine. They're in my pod or something." And I was like, "Yep, that's a super spreader."
Super spreader.
I was like, "That's a spreader event." And then when they were on the dock and they all got the little like in their mouth, like, "Oh, you're good now." He's like, "What is that? A disinfectant?" "No, you're good. Don't worry about it." And I was like, "That was."
You're good.
If the next movie doesn't start with Daniel Craig recovering from COVID, I will be. I don't know. I don't know what my reaction will be. If it opens with him recovering from COVID, I'll think it's hilarious. Because sorry to anyone who had it or whatever. I had it, yeah. But like, if he starts the next movie and he's like, "Sorry, I'm recovering from the COVID," I will be like, "This dude is."
He only has to say the vid.
Yeah,
you gotta say the vid
because he caught it from the non-vaccine that he received.
Here's the thing. I believe they probably that was May. I believe they had an experimental vaccine that only billionaires can get.
And just a little like mist, a little.
Yeah. Why not? Why? Or it was bleach. You know, that was around the time. It was around that time.
Yeah.
That he was talking about bleaching people and drinking. Like, here's the thing. I do not believe any of that. Like, I believe that was a thing. Yeah. But I'm not saying it worked. I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm just saying I believe that was a thing.
Slushie Review. We at Slushie Review are not medical professionals. Well, the following statements are not backed by the FDA.
Sometimes.
Some of that shit was the dumbest stuff I'd ever heard. Put the UV light in inside of your body, and it will kill anything in there.
It's okay. My brother told me to just stand over a boiling pot of water. I was like,
yeah, sweat it out. Yeah, it's like a head cold. But no, that was the first thing I wrote was the like, I shouldn't have liked it, but it made me laugh. The way that all these people were like dealing with it or not dealing with it or refusing to deal with it. And it just, I was like, yeah, it's.
What I enjoy about it is that it's a thing.
Yeah.
It happened in real life, and I think it should show up in more movies.
Yeah.
Because it happened. And I think when people try to dismiss it, it's like the Marvel movies. The snap happened.
Yeah.
And for the people who talk about the new Marvel movies, like, why do they keep talking about the snap? Because billions of people disappeared for 5 years.
Yeah, everyone was gone. Half the people on Earth were gone for 5 years, and then they came back.
Why wouldn't we talk about it? I'll be talking about it every goddamn day. This bitch was gone for 5 years. Like, now she's back. What do I do?
I had no child support.
Talking to my new wife.
I didn't have to pay child support for 5 years.
Yeah. Now this bitch is back.
And now it's back.
I'm saying it again. This bitch is back.
Yeah.
Got to pay $5. I was like, listen, he's 23 technically.
And now I got to pay back child support for a grown man? What is this?
Bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. We celebrate your 23rd birthday.
He took out a loan and started an LLC. Like, this is a man. This is an adult.
He was a man. He had a beard.
He had a beard.
That's what I'm like, I would be talking about this shit every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, 5 years? Okay, me and my fiance has been in a relationship for 7 years now. 5 years is enough to start a whole new relationship. Like, I'm not saying I would.
Right.
But I probably would. But I love her.
Don't cross me.
But don't disappear. Don't disappear for 5 years.
Don't get killed by some.
I love you, alien. But don't get snapped.
Yeah, and then come back.
But listen,
you're gonna snap, stay.
I gotta bring life into this house.
You're gonna get snapped, stay snapped.
Who's gonna water these plants? Not me. Not this guy.
Thanos can come water these plants.
If those
plants can get snapped too.
Listen, you better go with you. Don't worry, somewhere. I gotta bring somebody into this loving house and keep these plants alive.
Somebody.
All of a sudden, we're poly. Crazy. But all I'm saying is, we gotta talk about it. Like, we can't shy away from it because it happened, regardless of what people want to believe or didn't believe and all this other bullshit. It happened. Simple and plain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it. I love it.
And in the future, someone could probably say, "Oh, well, it dates it." Like, okay, well, it's
great.
It's a thing that happened.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, there's a rotary phone on your that dates that movie. No shit.
Yeah. No.
Every movie without a cell phone in it dates that movie.
You know, or movies with cell phones, but all the people have fucking flip phones. Or like World War II movies, or period movies, or any movie that doesn't take place in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, when they don't say when and where it is. You don't know. If they give you the date at the beginning of the movie, it dates it. But like, I could see people in the future. Oh well, 2020. Oh yeah. But it happened. It's a historical event. Right. It's like one of the. I was gonna say it's one of the few of our lifetime. That's not true.
One of the many.
Yeah, one of the
army. One of the few, the proud, the many. Apocalypse.
Yeah, and more to come, I'm sure. More to come on the way. So, but yeah, that was the first thing I wrote down.
Nice.
I wrote it like really small and out of the way so that I would have room for more likes to write
down. My next like is, it's a like, I don't know, but just because I like him. Duke is a bro.
Not in a good way either.
Not in a good way, but he plays that bro well.
Yes, he did.
Duke is a bro. He's a douchebag.
Bro.
He is a bro with the fucking gun and his fucking
Never
nuts.
without it. Yeah, I feel like that was some kind of symbolism that was always right in front of his fucking penis and balls.
To be fair, I did see a TikTok video of this woman teaching gun safety to like one-on-one safety to another woman, and she was talking about how in movies when you see a gun hit the ground and it goes off, she said that's not true. She said that can't happen. She said the way guns are built, the only way a gun can go off is by pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I was gonna say if a gun can go off by you dropping it, that is not safe at all.
Which we see in movies all the time, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know. She was like, yeah, you can go look it up on their website. You can go do this, and this. She was like, it can't go off. She was like, so just like with chef knives, she was like, if a gun falls, do not pick it up because you immediately have to. It's a reflex. You do this. The only way it can go off is if you pull it. And so she was like, this is the reason why and she pulled a gun from right here. She was sitting down, pulled a gun. She was like, this is why I don't mind keeping this right here. It's aimed directly at my femoral artery, but I don't mind keeping it there because it can't go off unless I pull the trigger. And I was like, girl, where did that gun come from? She put literally sitting down, didn't move. She was just like, beep, beep. I was like,
pulled that gun out from behind your ear.
Literally, as soon as when Dave, Duke.
Call him Dave. Call him Dave.
Dave Bautista did it. Yeah. I was like, she did the same thing. I was like, fair. She didn't shoot it though.
Yeah, he was popping them off. He was doing desk pop. He was doing pool pop. All kinds of shit.
What was this? Lieutenant? No, not Lieutenant. Damn it. Lieutenant, I did my first desk pop.
God. Captain Gene.
I did my first desk pop. You don't have to call me Captain Gene. No, we're at work. But yeah, Duke, he was the best.
I liked him. And we talked about this before the movie, that Rian Johnson made the statement that Dave Bautista is in his opinion, the best wrestler turned actor. And I don't know. I like him.
Rock hasn't been a villain enough times for me to like him as a villain.
Yeah.
He's been a villain, but not enough times. Well, that's not true, though. How many times has Dave been a villain?
Villain?
I mean, he's definitely a villain in this.
Everyone was a fucking villain in this.
That's fair.
Except for Benoit and Helen.
Yeah, that's also fair.
And, what's his name? Daryl.
Yeah, that's fair.
Trooper Wagner.
He's not a villain in Guardians. He's not a villain.
He might be one in that Cabin movie that's coming out.
I think he has to be.
He certainly looks like one, in the trailer at least.
What about Dune? Have you seen that yet?
Dune? No. Was he in that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was definitely
I didn't see it. I didn't care to.
You're not going to watch it?
Probably not.
Your wife doesn't want to watch it?
I don't know.
Oh. I know it's part of it. I know it's a book, right?
Yeah, it's based on a book that was written like however many years ago.
1,000.
And took them this long to make. They made a movie about it, I guess, back in the day.
Flopped.
Made another one now. And
It's a two-parter.
yes, it's at least a two-parter.
They just finished the second one.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. At this point in my life, I don't care. There may come a time where I change my mind on it and decide to read the book or watch the movie. At this point in my life, Chris doesn't care about Dune.
You know why I don't like it? Sand. I hate sand. It's coarse. Gets everywhere.
Oh, yes.
We're similar in that.
Yeah, boy. Little Annie. All grown up.
Same. Ready to put some babies in somebody.
God. Oh.
But that was my second like.
Yeah, I agree. He was... Just like in the first movie, there were characters that I enjoyed that I would not enjoy in real life. Because they're a character in a movie, I'm like, oh, that's funny. Because I know that they're like a caricature or they're like a takeoff or a send-up of a certain archetype of person. Right. I'm not going to like, oh, this dude's great. I would be friends with him. I'm like, no, this dude's a fucking idiot.
They all were terrible.
Yeah,
if you think about it, they're all terrible.
Yeah, they're all pieces of shit. Shitheads. The shitheads.
Same.
As Benoit would put it. But yeah, they're all pieces of shit. But I thought they were, just like in the first one, Michael Shannon and Jamie Lee Curtis were good at being assholes and not likable.
Don Johnson.
Yes, I couldn't think of who the other one was. Yeah, and the Nazi child masturbating in the bathroom.
The Nazi child.
Like their whole family was pieces of shit. And in this one, you got like 5 different pieces of shit that were all just like friendly with each other. Yes, he was also a piece of shit. Friendly pieces of shit to each other in this one. And I thought, yeah, I liked Batista in it. I didn't expect, spoiler alert, in case we didn't already say it a bunch of times, I didn't expect him to die. I didn't know who I thought was going to die. Actually, no, I do. I thought Edward Norton was going to die. But we'll get there. But I didn't expect him to die. And I also didn't expect to get more scenes of everybody after the fact. They did a lot of like flashback scenes. And I thought he was good. And Rian Johnson might be onto something. He might be the best wrestler turned actor. I haven't seen any of the Miz's movies. All those Marine movies. I don't want to either. Not because of him.
Wait, he was in the Marine movies?
I thought it was Cena. The first one was, I think, the first one wasn't him. I think the first one was Cena. The second one, I think, was like Orton, maybe. Randy Orton. And then like the rest, like the other 4 that they made was him.
Hadn't heard of them.
Yeah, exactly. They were all like straight to DVD, I think. But like he's been in a couple like Christmas movies and shit.
So you're not gonna see them?
No, I'm not gonna see them. So I mean, as far as I'm aware, Batista might be the best one because we push for The Rock on this podcast, the people's champ.
Yeah.
However,
let me put it like this:
it might be Batista.
Batista couldn't have done Black Adam.
Could The Rock have done Drax? As well.
Yeah, he's kind of funny.
He is.
The Rock is funny.
Oh, he is, definitely.
He can do dry humor too. He can do dry. The Rock is funny. Yeah. I'll give The Rock that.
Yeah.
Batista has become funny.
I kind of want to watch his other movies now. I want to watch the one with him and Kumail Nanjiani just to see what it's about. Here's the thing. I think The Rock can do funny. I think The Rock is low-key smart. I think Batista is kind of stupid. I think I'm not trying to like degrade him or anything, but like I think he's like just funny. He's dumb funny. I mean, all the main characters I've seen him play in this and in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, like he plays kind of a dummy. So I can see how
he's like a bumbling,
at least in that respect. Yeah, because I don't know the guy in real life. I know him from like movies and then watching him on TV and WWE.
Yeah,
I didn't really care about him as a wrestler.
Fair.
I think I like him more as an actor.
That's true. I agree with that because I've seen him. First off, I've seen him with hair. Didn't like the look.
Yeah.
I like him better as a bald guy.
Did you see him when he had like fucking vampire teeth and a chain around his neck?
Why would I watch that?
They call him the Animal.
Why would I watch that?
That's how he first showed up.
Why would I watch that, Chris?
Yeah.
I've never watched
You know who introduced him that way? Devon Dudley of the Dudley Boys.
Why would I watch that?
I don't know, but that's how they put him on TV.
There was a long stint where I didn't watch wrestling.
There was a time.
It's still going.
There was a time for subtlety, and that time was before Scary Movie.
I guess. Was it?
Yes.
Did you not see the Naked Gun movies?
Oh, I saw them.
Did you not see
I
Airplane?
saw those. I was gonna say I saw Airplane.
Anything with Gene Wilder? These movies have been around forever.
Mm-hmm. But no,
Yeah.
I like Batista. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
And his douchebag man's rights fucking streamer. God. Problematic.
Same.
And he wanted to be on some like Fox News type thing from what I could gather. He wanted to be a late night anchor man. My God. Dirtbag.
That's fair.
Which part of me feels like that was a pointed reference to another wrestler who did that in real life.
Who?
His in-ring name was Brodus Clay. I think his real name's like Tyrus something. I think he's on Fox News quite a bit. And I was like, I don't care. I don't like that.
Nice.
But yeah, I agree. I liked him a lot. Migo?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Me next like Benoit Blanc, because how could I not?
Fair.
I said it to you during the movie. I was like, he might be my favorite like original character I've seen in a movie in quite some time. Because to be fair, I mean, for this podcast, we watch movies. A lot of the movies we have watched are like Star Wars and Marvel and DC and comic book movies and things that are like established franchises. The Jurassic movies, we watched all, 2 of those so far. But
have we only watched 2 Jurassic movies?
yeah, we only watched the first one. We watched Jurassic Park and then Dominion. Yeah, we only watched the first and the last. And there's a lot of ground to cover in the middle. We'll get there. But I really like his
Jurassic January, guys.
Hey!
I listen. Fast and the Furious February.
Oh.
What? You don't like it?
I'm trying to think how to do the
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles.
I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Teenage March through May Ninja Turtles. I don't know. Somewhere in there.
I like it. I like it.
But yeah, I really like his character. After seeing the first Knives Out and then this one, he's great.
Benoit Blanc is amazing.
Yeah, and I know he's based on Hercule Poirot, who we watched Murder on the Orient Express, and I thought he was really cool also.
And the fact that we just watched the Murder on the Orient Express, they do have very similar tones, especially when they're like flustered or like upset, like just they sporadically yell out random bullshit just for no reason, and I love it, especially when they're upset.
Yes, but I wrote
the fudge.
The fudge from the chocolate. The fudge from the fudge. No, I wrote a few things under that. I wrote
familial home. He bought that in the 80s
from a Pakistani real estate mogul.
Exactly. So I love the similarities of the two.
I wrote Benoit Bath is the first thing I wrote under him because we see him in the fucking bathtub with his little cap on.
Talk about dated.
Hilarious. That was great. I wrote his poolside outfit was fucking great. I could see myself wearing that, to be honest. I would wear that. A little neckerchief
to
also.
The pool or
in general. Yeah. Keith, I don't go to pools.
I was gonna say
I don't belong near a pool.
I didn't want to say it. I wanted you to say it.
Me in direct sunlight, not a good mix.
Again, I wanted you to say it.
I'll always say it. He ruins the murder mystery, which is amazing.
Hilarious.
It's like it starts. Oh, we're playing right now. Has the game started? And he's like, well,
yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Like, okay.
It was Buddy J.
Buddy J with the crossbow with a remote firing device. If you search around, you find a remote triggering device that launches this Jayhawk crossbow.
It was like it was Birdie J, and the motive was just stole her diamond,
the blood diamond.
I didn't know it was a blood.
And then the fact like he just puts it all out there, and then the fake fucking bolt shoots out of the crossbow and sticks him, and that's where I thought, I was like, oh shit, maybe that wasn't supposed to happen, and maybe he was like actually gonna die, but then like it's stuck in his like right below his rib cage probably, and then like almost at his neck, blood started squirting. I was like, okay, this is set up. This is hilarious.
Yeah, well, it didn't come from the crossbow.
Yeah, but no, like the fake blood was like in him, so like, or like on him, so like
the arrow didn't.
Oh, it didn't? I thought
it came from his.
Oh, okay.
That's what he said. He's like, you see it lifted up. It just
that's
was like,
right. Yeah.
And
he's like, just starts bleeding, and he just like staring at him. He's like, you ruined.
He was so dejected.
I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was great. And then he took him upstairs. He's like, what do you win? Before they even happens, like, do we win something? What do you mean? We said game. I thought you win something. You don't have to, but it's just where my mind went.
I don't know, like an iPad.
You win like an iPad or something. Then Benoit Blanc wins an iPad. He's like, I don't need an iPad. I thought that was fucking hilarious. He took him up into the fucking Epcot Center glass onion dome and started talking to him. Oh, that was so good. Honestly, his whole thing, when he shows up on the island and he's like, what are you doing here? You invited me. He's like, I didn't. And they do the whole thing about like, someone must have resealed one of the boxes, and he was playing dumb the whole time because he set up everything, and that's another like that I have. But he hates. I wrote that he hates Clue. Terrible game. All these people, like, they both have motive and opportunity. That's why this isn't like Clue at all. That's why it's a terrible game. Terrible. I fucking loved it.
Would that make it a better game?
And I wish he had mentioned the movie. I wish he'd like, it's a terrible game. Compelling movie though. Hilarious. And the last thing I wrote for him was, I'll probably have more throughout as we talk, but the last thing I wrote for him was, it's dangerous to mistake speaking without thought to speaking the truth. I was like, fucking A. Because so many people are like, I just tell it how it is. I tell it how it is, No, you just say the first thing that comes into your fucking mind sometimes, regardless of how it makes anyone feel or how it makes you look or sound. And you say something to be the first one that says something. Like Birdie says, like, some people have a problem with it. I'm like, yeah, you should. The people who do it should have a problem with it.
Agreed. Yeah, Benoit Blanc, hilarious as always. Him playing Among Us was hilarious.
I thought that there's another thing, like in 2020, like everybody was fucking all about.
Love Among Us.
I say you were playing it at the time.
I played it and then hated it.
Yeah,
hated playing it.
I never played it because so many people were on it. It's like, let's look at this game. I was like, I don't care.
It was fun if you had a lot of people playing it, but I was playing it like with people online, my nephew and my son. You can't play it with just 3 people. So me, my son, and my nephew couldn't just play it. We didn't have enough people to play it with more people that we knew. So playing it with people online is terrible.
Like random people.
Just kids. It's just like playing any game online. You know how it is to play video games online. First off,
assholes.
I'm gonna be getting called an N-word.
Oh,
so there's that. Even they don't know if I'm black or white, but I'm gonna get called one anyway.
They're gonna call me a honky.
Call me that. I'll be cool with that. But no, they're not. They're gonna call me that. And then they're gonna vote you out if you don't type fast enough. Well, some people aren't on phones. Some people are. Then you gotta play it with your phone in landscape mode, which means you gotta type in landscape. I'm not on a computer. I'm not on a keyboard. So they're like, "Who is it?" And then if you don't answer fast enough, well, it's gotta be you because you can't type fast enough.
Vote it out.
So I'm playing with children. So then I just started watching other people play it, and it's so much more fun. I was enthralled in 2020 and 2021. So Among Us was great. The fact that he was playing with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Angela Lansbury, Steve Sondheim, and Natasha chick. He lived with Hugh Grant. That was great. He was smoking with Captain Wagner. That was amazing.
At the end.
Yep.
Yes.
The fact that he solved the fake crime in 5 minutes was amazing. Benoit Blanc is funny, and it's a lot of stuff I didn't catch because I'm not him. He's him, not me. It is what it is. And since we're just going down Benoit anyway, his whole plan from the jump.
Yes.
He was like, oh, the murder. He was like, oh yeah, with Helen or Andy's twin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, no, can't help you. It's too dangerous because the killer would know who you are. Can't do it. I'm not a bodyguard. Mm-hmm. She was like, no, I want to do it. He was like, we could. No, that'd be crazy. Oh man! Like he was so excited. You could tell. Like he was just like,
no, you don't think?
Yeah. And that's the first thing I thought. You don't think?
Could he have?
Oh mercy me! Oh, I could never.
Halle Berry.
Oh Betsy. Oh heavens, the Betsy. I was like, this man had a full on.
He's so good. He's so good.
To be a British folk, oh, his southern accent is amazing.
It's just like molasses just spilling out of your mouth.
Yeah. The Clue thing was hilarious. And yeah, that's all I got for Benoit. But yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he was great. Back to you.
The puzzle in the beginning. All those puzzles in the beginning of opening that box is hilarious.
Yeah.
And good. It was interesting. I didn't know any of them.
That was something else too.
The fact that the mother, Duke's mom, was solving like half of them.
Yeah, she knew all of them.
She was like, duh. And I'm like, Because here's the thing. Like, people don't realize, like, we have phones, we have computers, shit like this. Some of these things were like things that kids did back in the 70s because they didn't have shit else to do. Like, I know we're smart, but like, I honestly believe some people were smarter back in the day. Like, just go back and read, like, hey, children used to like write letters in the 1600s. 2, 4 without there. Nope, never wrote like that. Yo, that's how I started.
Hey yo,
Ew.
Scott Hall writing these letters.
Exactly.
Sylvester Stallone writing the letter, dictating it. Oh, how do I do that? How do I spell that?
To my dearest Adrian.
What was that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This writes whatever.
To my dearest Adrian.
I'm gonna go back to working for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You are the flower to my Philadelphia. I don't know what that is, but yeah. So it just that's how she knew it. That's how the mom knew it, because it's not that she is smart. It's just that that's what they did back in the day.
Yeah.
And those were the puzzles that they were not allowed to, but that they had to solve because they didn't have computers and shit like that. So yeah, like kids today or even adults today can't really solve them because we don't know what the fuck they are.
I like that they were all working together on it over the phone. Yeah. And
Birdie had no input.
Birdie didn't do anything.
She tried to Shazam a song.
Yo-Yo Ma with a lamp. Her addition was having Yo-Yo Ma in the same room with her.
That's true. Yo-Yo Ma did not follow protocol for COVID, by the way.
No. Can't stop some people, though.
What famous instrument did Yo-Yo Ma play? Cello.
I'll say cello if I remember. God, Phil. All right, Phil. Hilarious.
I looked up a whole bunch of Phil answering the telephone. I love him.
The puzzle. I did like the puzzle box.
It was interesting
because like
the first one when they had to like cross the eye and look. I used to do those in the highlights thing. I think it was highlights or ridiculous.
Yeah. I thought it was cool that like they were all working together to solve it. And when Benoit mentions it, he's like, "Oh, you got it. I didn't send you a box." Like, yeah, the box with all the children's puzzles in it.
Hilarious.
But, like, that's hilarious. But also, he didn't solve anything because Helen smashed it with a hammer.
Right, and that's what I mean about children's games. They were children's games back in the day.
It was like a chess. It was like a chess setup. It was like a sliding puzzle. There was
a tic-tac-toe board.
A tic-tac-toe board with like, but it had like a Morse code thing on it. But like no one nowadays knows fucking Morse code unless you're probably like in the military or something. Yeah, unless you learn it to blink it at each other and mess with your coworkers.
Because he told her to lose weight.
Or like Fibonacci, the Fibonacci sequences, or like the fugue, the music thing that played out of it, and then like pulled the thing up and it started spinning, all that shit. That was really cool.
First off, if a box starts spinning like that, I'm getting the fuck out.
If I got one of those boxes, I would be like, I'm in some saw thing. I'm gonna die. If I open this box, like a saw blade's gonna come out and cut me in half or something.
That's exactly what happened when Lydia bring that up. This is from Chris and Megan. I was like, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
This thing is huge.
Oh, the big one?
Yeah.
Nah. It's ticking.
Which I appreciate it, by the way.
I thought you would.
I did.
This box is ticking.
I was like, he set me up, that son of a bitch.
What?
I was like, why did he give me these? We were just talking about
that's
this.
what gave me the idea.
I know. I was like, God, he was listening.
I didn't bring it up for that purpose, but like when we were talking about it, and you were so like passionate about it.
I know, and that's exactly what I told her. I was like,
I should get that. Yeah.
No. I was like, damn it, I was so passionate too, and I told her exactly that. I was telling her, I was like, oh yeah, I used to have one, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I was like, I was super excited, but it did not mean
No, I know.
I wanted it as a gift. I was like, I'm so upset.
It's for the house.
And she was like, are you gonna use it? I was like, yes.
There you go.
Obviously.
Of course I'm gonna do that.
Chicken sandwich and waffle fry. For free.
God.
I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Still all this sugar. Sugar in my tank. No, I'm just but yeah, that was the puzzle beginning.
Okay. Next thing I wrote was the Mona Lisa shield, because I thought that was hilarious. Every time fucking Batista's phone was dinging, it just kept going up and going down. Anytime someone like clunked or banged something, or when Helen raised her voice, the shield went up.
Fire.
Hilarious.
Every time he lit the
yes, it's the little torch thing. He's like, hey, you can't even do like if a phone dings, he's like it goes up. Like that's hilarious. And it's set up similar to at the end of Knives Out when they had the big wheel of knives the entire time in the background through like all the interrogations and everything. They showed the what do you call it? Like the emergency release button or whatever, or like I forget, I don't remember what he called it, but like a way to open the shield if it's up. And I didn't think anything of it until the end of the movie, and I was like, the button. And then like they ran for it, and it was like in the shape of like a little dude, like looking up, like you're gonna fucking bop him on the head. Hilarious. I liked it.
When I first saw this movie, I thought someone's head was gonna get chopped off in it.
I really thought this was a Saw movie.
Because I was like, dude, that glass goes up really quick.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, like because it kept scaring people. Like it scared Catherine Hahn like a couple of times. I was like, oh shit. But alas,
no head chopping this time. But I liked it, and it came up. I mean, I like that. I'll just use that as a jumping off point. Almost everything that they made a point of showing you and like mentioning in this movie mattered in one way or another, and I liked it.
There was a red herring.
Communism.
Daryl.
Fair, because I did think he was the murderer for like a brief second.
Everyone thought it. Because
when
had to be, right?
What's her name was like, this smells like that Daryl guy. I was like, oh, Daryl poisoned Batista, and like for a hot second I was like, no, you're being foolish.
Same, because that's just a red herring.
But also,
it's just a red herring.
But like everything, everything mattered. Like the envelope being hidden in plain sight behind like the swirl. Like is that the Fibonacci sequence swirl? Like the golden ratio swirl on the thing. The puzzle boxes and the mention of pineapple juice. The mention of pineapple at the very beginning that I knew was important. As soon as he said, it's like, Duke doesn't swim with pineapple. Like, that's gonna happen.
Here's the thing. I think I'm talking to the audience, not you, Chris. I think Chris was trying to solve it the whole time.
Okay. I don't think I was trying to solve it. I think I was just like trying to pay attention to things because I feel like when they mention something like that, it's probably going to come up.
Yeah, fair.
And that's what I thought. I was like,
I'm not knocking you for trying to solve it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I was like, he kept saying stuff, and I was like,
knowing, like thinking that something was going to happen. I was like, okay, if he mentions that, he's like, oh, I don't swim in pineapple. I was like, okay, he's probably allergic. In my head, I was like, he's probably allergic. It's probably going to come up later.
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't think he was the one that was going to die. But as soon as it happened, I was like, pineapple. I think I even said it out loud. I was like, pineapple.
Yep, you did say that. You're like, pineapples.
And just like that, I said it just like that. And
you're a little more animated, but that's fair.
And like, I just like that everything.
That's okay.
Like they made a big deal of him talking like, oh, it's the real. Oh yeah, why do you have a print of the Mona Lisa in your living room? I was like, that's the real thing.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's going to be important. The little hydrogen fuel thing that he gave, like the little crystal of it that he gave to somebody earlier in the thing, and Benoit like slipped it to Helen at the end. I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to happen. Between that and like the fact that they mentioned that his fuel was going to be leaking out of the pipes because like the hydrogen molecules are too small and they leak through the pipes. I was like, I knew that was going to happen. No, I should say I didn't. I knew that was going to happen. I figured once she set the fire, I was like, this is going to be good. It's going to be good.
I'm not knocking you.
I like to think.
I clear my mind.
Yeah.
And I like to see a twist. I don't want it. I told you I can't let anything ruin my fun.
I shouldn't say I felt like I was predicting things, but like once certain things happened, like I could start seeing it like in my head. It's like, yes. It's like this thing's gonna. I was like, these things like chain of events could happen. I definitely didn't see it from the start or from like the first mention of anything. Yeah. But like once she started smashing shit, the first thing I thought was like all those glass objects were not actually glass. I was like waiting for the big reveal that they were made out of that like crystal whatever fuel thing. I was waiting for that reveal. Or as soon as she grabbed his lighter and like lit the thing, and I was like, yup, I thought they're gonna be the thing. Like all of them were made out of the fuel thing. They're all just gonna start fucking blowing up. And I said it was the trail of liquor that set the bar up. I was waiting for the big reveal that either they were made of that stuff or she had like slipped that little crystal thing into the broken glass somewhere and it would go up. But like, I don't know. There's like, it's a chain of events. A chain of events started forming in my head, and I was like, okay,
I ain't knocking it. Like I said, I ain't knocking it. I'm just saying, okay. I can't let it do that to me.
Because I definitely did not predict in my head that, like, from the first instance of when you saw that hand, the gloved hand with the gun, I did not immediately like, oh, it's Edward Norton. I was just like, oh, I don't know who it is. Like, it's clearly not one of those two. Because they're having the gun pointed at them, and it's not Batista because he did.
He did.
So I was like, I don't know who this is. This is gonna be good.
That's fair. I ain't knocking it.
Yeah, like I don't think I was trying to solve it, but once I got to a certain point, I was like, I think I know what my guess would have been at least, and I couldn't come up with like a guess of who it was, but my guessing like how the ending was gonna happen, like what was gonna happen. I was like, I think I got it. Compels me though.
That's fair. My turn? I don't know where I'm at. Andy's twin. I thought that was a good twist.
Yep.
I just thought that was a good twist. Yeah. That was it.
I wrote that also.
Yeah.
The Helen and Cassandra ruse, I think is what I wrote. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that she gets shot and they immediately go to this big flashback.
Yeah.
And they introduce that she is a twin. And because when he ran up to her right before she got shot, he says Helen. I was like, what?
Now, did you hear him say Helen, or did you read it on?
I saw it in the caption, I heard him say something, but he didn't say Andy. He didn't say Cassandra. And like as I read it, I was like, okay, he did say that. And then he immediately, like, the woman shows up at his door, and Hugh Grant answers the door, which is hilarious. The fact that all these cameos and everything, I thought was great, and I'll get to that in a sec. But Hugh Grant answers the door because you heard him earlier in the movie. He's like, "Block, there's someone here for you with a box," and he's in the tub, and it's hilarious. And it's her in a mask, and it's for all intents and purposes, it's Cassandra in a mask with a different haircut, and then you learn that it's her twin sister.
Yeah.
And the fact that they like went all through this whole thing of him like coaching her like how to like review her journals to learn like you know to get her like to find out how she reacted and things that she saw in the days that she did and when she saw it, like the rich bitch persona that her and her sister used to do to like be her. I thought it was great.
Yeah, pretty good.
And then they cut back to it and I was like, but she's dead.
Yeah.
And then she wasn't. And I was like, the book saved her.
Twisty twist.
And then Jeremy Renner's hot sauce was the fake blood, and he put it in his eyes, and I was like, oh, no. Hilarious. But yeah, I thought their whole plan was incredible.
That was great.
So good.
Your next week.
The next one that I wrote was dumbass billionaire.
Yeah.
Because when this movie hit streaming, I was like, I'm going to wait and we're going to do an episode about it. It had been established. I have seen so many things about this movie. And one of the things I saw was like, it mentioned, I don't remember the entire headline, but it was something about like an Elon Musk-esque billionaire character in the movie. And I was like, bet I'm not going to like him. It didn't say who it was. It didn't say like you know anything like that. It was like Elon Musk's like styled character. And I was like, this is gonna be hilarious, and it was because he's a fucking goober.
It's a fucking fraud. I mean, seriously, and like and Benoit Blanc like explained it all. And I remember watching this the first time. I was like, it wasn't even, and maybe it was just Edward Norton like acting, but like. He never seemed smart to me. I was just like, he seems like a con man. And I was like, he seems like a con man. Like disruptors? Like when he said that, when they were in the like around the fire pit, when Andy first went off, and he was like, we're disruptors. We take one thing, and that thing that nobody wants to break, we break the system. And I was like, oh, he's a con man. Yeah. I was like, oh, at first I was like, oh, you're kind of.
He's like, this fucking Fight Club? What is this shit?
Yeah, like, I was like, oh, yeah, which he was in.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, we take that one thing that nobody wants to break, and we break it. How do we break it? We break it.
We find the infraction point.
Yeah.
Like all these dumb fucking like buzzwords that he kept inserting and using them stupidly and wrong. Hilarious.
And I was just like, you sound like a con man because you aren't explaining anything.
Imbreviate.
Yeah, but you're using all these words to make it seem like you're explaining everything. But you're not really explaining a thing. You're just saying words. You sound like a con man. You sound like you're going to be voted president in 2016. Like, I don't understand. Man, I get what you're saying is you're fooling people who are stupid. And that's what you're doing. That's all you're doing. And you're fooling people who have an interest of you.
Yeah.
And but I don't have an interest. So you're not fooling me. It's like the whole Twitter thing. It's like all these people are like, oh, this man's so smart. Okay, because
he didn't build Twitter. He didn't establish shit.
No.
He bought an established company and chased away a lot of its revenue and employees.
Fired.
Yeah. Like, well, he fired the employees, and he like his presence and actions drove away like a lot of advertisers and revenue.
Well, like I said, like I told my one buddy, I was like, he fired. There were 5,000 employees, and he fired 4,000 of them, I think. And my buddy was like, I mean, he's doing something. If it's still working and he fired 90% of employees or something. And I was like, I don't know about you, but I use Twitter every day, and my Twitter experience is trash. I was like,
if you can run it with if you are running it with, let's say 1,000 employees, but you can run it with 100, so you fire 900. Are those 100 people? Those 100 people, that tells me, are then doing the work of 1,000 people.
Right.
So mistakes are going to be made.
Right.
Slaps are going to get dashed. Jobs are going to get done poorly. Experiences are going to suffer. the product's going to suffer.
And that's why I told him, I was like, I don't know, my experience is, I was like, honestly, my videos don't play like that. I was like, the videos.
I have noticed that.
Have you noticed that?
Like images don't load very well at all.
They don't.
If they load at all.
If they load at all, the videos don't load.
Videos are even like a 5-second video, it doesn't play, so I click it, plays for a second.
And then it'll
click it again.
Yes.
Back to the thing, it'll play for a second. Mm-hmm. I had to watch a 5-second video, I had to click it like every second to get it to play. And I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah. Sometimes like everything is just very buggy.
And is that, you think, because of the way he's doing it?
Has to be.
That's fair.
Well, when you fire 90% of the staff, it's gonna have some shit. Some shit's gonna be fucked up. Yeah. And then they were like, my buddy was like, well, he's like, that's understandable. He's like, but I mean, he cut a lot of waste, and I'm like, is it waste if it's starting to be terrible? And I was like, so it's not really waste if it's terrible. And then I learned a week later that, and I know this has nothing to do with Glass Onion, but I was like, I noticed a week later that I saw a news report that the people who stuck around, because a lot of people quit too. Like a lot of people quit. A lot of people took like whatever, not grievances, but they took buyouts, severance or whatever. And the ones that didn't, a lot of like close to 90-something% of the people who stayed and are willing to work for him have their visas attached to the job. So if they quit or get fired, they have to go back home, and it's not the United States.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, so the people who are forced to work here, and then the picture that he took with all the employees that are still left, none of them are from America. I'm like, okay. So so I told my buddy that. He was like, yeah, I learned that too. And I was like, sir, so then can we go back and let's stop saying like he's a genius and let's just say he's exploiting people now, because that's what he's doing. Don't say he's a genius. He's exploiting people. That's what he's exploiting. And then I don't know if you heard over the past couple of weeks, he banned some journalists because he was doxxed. Which is
he banned that child's Twitter account that was tracking his jet.
Yes. And
then he took the poll of, should I reinstate accounts that keep track of other people's whereabouts? Like almost overwhelmingly, yes.
Yes.
Was the thing, because everyone knew it was referring to that child, so he reinstated it.
Well,
he's like the king. He's the king of the Twitter poll now.
So
and quote, abiding by the results.
Before all that though, he goes. It's called Elon's Jet. That's what the account was called. He banned that person. So then, because that's a big news thing, all the reporters, MSNBC, NBC News, blah, 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 they all were reporting on it. They were like, here's the Twitter account. Since they linked the Twitter account, he banned them for doxing him. So he banned like 30-something news accounts. He was like, hey, you doxed me. Everybody who gets doxed. So then he did a poll. He said,
free speech, though.
He said, should I reinstate him? Overwhelmingly, yes.
Yeah.
He was like, didn't like that poll. Let's do another one.
Yeah, let's do it again with less results.
He said, yeah. He said,
less choices.
Yep.
Yeah.
He said less choices.
Like,
he was like,
should I do it? Yes. Yes, after a certain amount of time. Yes, after like a certain more amount of time. No. Or whatever.
Something else. Then he was
it was all yes.
It was all yes.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay, just 2, yes or no.
Yeah.
All yes.
It was all yes again.
And he was like, we're gonna do another poll tomorrow. And so then he reinstated him, and then he was like, should I step down from running Twitter?
Also yes.
All yes. Then he was like, I only did that poll to see which were bots.
Yeah.
And then he tried
running it again without after removing so and so many bot accounts. Still overwhelming a yes. But even if he steps down, he's still going to be the one running the company.
I was like, this motherfucker is. Yeah. Anyway, back to Glass Onion, because I could go on a whole thing about this. So, anywho,
Edward Norton's a dum dum.
Yeah.
Elon Norton's
I was
dum dum.
thinking the same thing. Great minds, man. Great minds.
He is just a goober, and the fact that at the end of the movie, everything he had literally fucking blew up in his face, and just like 5 minutes before, he was the smuggest piece of shit. He was like, "Oh, I burned the evidence. Which one of you is gonna say? Which one of you is gonna have my back?" And none of them did. None of them were like, "Raise your hand." She's like, "Raise your hand if you saw him raise your hand if you perjuried yourself in court on his behalf. And she's like, you will lie for a liar, but you won't lie for justice or for the truth. And they all just like kind of fucking stood there, and then she started smashing all the shit. And then they were all like, yeah, and then they all started smashing shit. And I was like, fuck you guys, for one.
Same.
Fuck all of you. Don't try to get in on this.
Yeah.
You're all a bunch of pieces of shit. Shitheads.
And then when he lost everything.
And then the big thing, when she started, he didn't give a shit when she was smashing sculptures and shit. When he went after that piano, he was like, all right. All right, what are you doing here? Smashed his bar, didn't care. Smashed all those statues, didn't care. That fucking suit of armor, didn't care. Grabs the mace, goes through the piano, is like, okay, hold on, what are we doing here? Crushes the solid gold piano, and then sets her sights on the Mona Lisa thing. And I was like, this is great. And it fucking conceivably ruins him, burns his thing that he said he like took out, like bailed out France during the pandemic. Hilarious. Burned the Mona Lisa, like the most famous, as she said, your new fuel literally burned the most famous painting in the world, in the world history. Now what? And then he just had like a little fucking fit. Like he was on the stairs and he like threw a little fucking piss baby fit. Hilarious. Because what else could he do? What are you gonna do? Because you're just, without all that shit, you're just a dude. You're just an idiot dude who decided that solid hydrogen fuel was a good idea after someone literally, as soon as they mentioned it, like, oh my god, the Hindenburg. Like, it's smartest guy though. Didn't think of that. Hilarious.
Same.
Hilarious.
All right, my next two things, they're kind of together. Clue notepad that she was writing down, which was hilarious. And the clue cards at the end. That was always good because it happened in the first Knives Out. It happened in this one.
Wait, what did?
The clue cards, like the way the names were, like how they are in the movie, and they get their own background. They did it.
Yes.
They did it in both the Knives Out movies. And I think, do they do it on Murder on the Orient? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But they do it in this movie, in the first Knives Out movie. So they get their own.
Yeah, they all got their
clue
little like,
cards.
Their little like headshot thing. Yeah, that was cool.
So yeah, that's what I like that. So yeah, that was good.
Nice. The last thing I wrote was the glass smashing scene, but I just talked about it. I thought it was great. And I didn't like how all the pieces of shit started trying to get in on it.
Facts.
Because they were all horrible. And yeah, they all decided at the end, like, okay, well, yeah, we saw him burn the thing. Yeah, we saw him grab his gun. Yeah, we saw him poison him.
After they knew he didn't have anything left.
Yeah, after they knew that he couldn't really do shit to them, and they're like, well, we're already fucked because he's not gonna back my campaign. He's not gonna get her off of this dude's Twitch channel and into her politics thing like she wants. He's not gonna get her 30 million after he bails her out of the sweatshop deal. They're like, well, I guess we might as well do the right thing.
Same.
Yeah. Leslie Odom Jr. was going to send people into space with a fucking rocket full of that. Challenger, however, whatever number we're up to, would have fucking blown up all the people on it. Again.
Where's Superman when you need him? Not playing Superman anymore.
Nope.
So, here's that. My last one, Whiskey actually seemed kind of smart.
Kind of, yeah, because she was playing them both, like, to get her own angle.
Yeah. And I remember when I saw that part, I was like, I like what she's doing.
Yeah.
Even, I'm not even going to say even if I don't like the way she's doing it, because honestly, you kind of got to do that.
Do what you got to do. If you're willing to do that, do it.
Because at this point, and not to make this like a whole political thing, but it's funny because I've heard this before. Like everybody's heard it before, sleeping your way to the top.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you shouldn't sleep your way to the top
if you're a woman.
As a woman, blah blah blah.
If you're a man,
no. Yeah, that's the thing. You shouldn't sleep your way to the top. Or maybe men shouldn't sleep with women to get them higher.
Yeah.
But hey, same. Either way.
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, though, like she said, but she made a smart. She was like, I don't think that's my way into it. I think blah blah blah. Like whatever she was saying.
Like he's doing all this like man's rights shit. It's like I'm not about that. But if this is my only way to get like into politics, I think I want to start stepping away from all that. And I was like, well, you definitely want to step away from that.
100%.
But
honestly, I'll be honest, kind of reminded me of the one girl from Fox News. I can't think of her name. Tommy Lauren, where somebody was like, she's only like, a lot of people say this, a lot of the women on Fox News don't really believe what they're saying. And I was like, yeah, I can see it. I absolutely can see it, because they're just doing it for a check. They're gonna end up switching sides at some point. And I'm like, yeah, I can see it.
A lot of people do things just for a check.
Obviously. I know. I posted a video of some lions on my Facebook, and my aunt commented, and I was like, yeah, I wish I could get a lion. I was like, but I understand that you need to have the money to feed them and have money for land to let them roam and shit, because if not, you can kill them, because just their bodies and shit, the way it works.
Or they can kill you.
I'm not worried about that. I'm gonna go happy either way. But either way, I was like, but unfortunately, the way my values and my anti-capitalism work, I don't think I'm gonna do that. So
Keith Exotic.
Listen,
there you go.
Can't do it, because first off, I don't want that many fucking animals. I just want a lion, just one singular. Don't want
That's how it starts.
else. But I also don't want a lot of money. I just want enough to take a lion. So unless I somehow win the lottery, because I don't want to work hard enough to make a lot of money to afford a lion.
Can you even work, quote, hard enough to make a lot of money? Like, is it just a matter of working harder and you're going to get rich?
I think so. I think you work hard enough to get rich. I think you also have to do some exploiting. But I think you can work hard enough to get rich. Okay. Do I want that? No.
Yeah.
I like my life outside of work.
Yeah, same.
So that's why it's hard to work sometimes, because I like my life outside of work.
Same.
I'm only depressed when I work. I'm never depressed outside of work. Unless I'm thinking about work, then I get depressed outside of work. So either way, that's enough of this week, therapist. Either way, that's all the likes I have.
Okay.
Dislikes?
None.
I have not a one. Slushie Meter.
Come on.
I don't know, man.
You want to say it together? Like countdown?
Mine might be different.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Okay, well then I'll say it.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4,
5. Oh. Yeah. It's a 5 for me. Easy. Yeah.
It's a 5 for me.
This movie was great.
This movie was good.
I'm so glad I didn't get spoiled for it.
I'm happy you didn't either.
I saw a thing yesterday. I know I saw a thing today. I saw a thing about the Elon Musk parody or like parallel. I saw a thing that was a picture of what's her name?
Catherine Hahn?
No. Gabrielle.
Madeline Kahn?
The actress Gabrielle
Iglesias?
No, from this movie.
Gabrielle
Iglesias, yeah.
I don't know, making up names. Gabrielle. There wasn't a Gabrielle in this movie.
Sorry, Janelle Monáe.
Oh.
I saw a picture of her. I don't know where I was thinking. Janelle Monáe, picture of her.
Okay.
That was like it said like someone so didn't want to do the twist concerning her character in the movie, and I was like, why the fuck?
Did she not want to do it?
I don't know. I don't remember who it said didn't want to do it. It was like reason like so and so didn't want to do the twist, and I was like, I don't need to see that. Don't need to see anything. And like I said earlier in the podcast and earlier talking to you, as soon as this movie made streaming, everyone had an opinion, which is good. Everybody had an opinion, but also every fucking news outlet and media outlet that I, for some reason, have liked on Facebook, and also just random people on Twitter that I follow were like, here's what happened in the movie. And I was like, oh, I don't want to hear it.
The crazy thing is, if Netflix would have left it in theaters, I think it could have made a boatload of money. They should have. But I get it. You know, they need people to, because they just raise the price, so I get it. But also, they could have left it in for a month, and it could have came to Netflix the day after, and it still would have made money.
If it wasn't on streaming yet, I feel like I probably would have gone and seen it in the theater.
100%.
Like either.
But that money goes to Netflix. I don't get why they didn't do it.
Yeah. Either like
makes sense, right?
Either today or at another occasion, like I'm going to go see it and then we'll talk about it.
Well, think about it. It's been a month. We could have been and seen it.
But I like doing it the same day. I don't think we've done it where we like see a movie and then like another day record, because I feel like it's got to capture the passion of the moment. It's got to be fresh.
Fair. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I think they could have done it longer in a theater.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I think it would have made more money. I mean, I think the great thing they did was they advertised their movies before the movie.
Oh, like Netflix movies?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
There's 3 of them, and I forget what the two. Well, one was the Matilda movie. Which
Are they ones that are going to be in theaters and then streaming?
I don't think so.
Oh,
the one was a Matilda movie that actually didn't look terrible, but it's like a musical. So I was like, yeah, that looks cool. If you're a child, I don't want to see it, but you know, I saw the original. I don't see why it shouldn't be a musical.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, the original Matilda should have been a musical. I don't see why it wasn't. Makes sense. So, whatever.
I did think of another like that I forgot to say. Cameos.
Yeah, you said you were going to talk about that later. Go ahead.
Hugh Grant. Serena Williams. I thought was like just a poster or like an image on a screen, and then she started talking to them.
Definitely blinked at one point.
That was they like lingered on it for so long. I was like, something's gonna happen with this. Otherwise, like they're just doing it for no reason. And he's like, you guys want to do like a session? I'm on the clock.
Well, she blinked. Like that was the thing. Like
I didn't see that because I was too busy watching them. But I was like, they're lingering on this shot for so long. Like something's gonna happen.
Yeah, because she was sitting there staring. And that's what happened with me. I was like, "Oh, Serena, okay, cool." Like a workout video, like a Peloton. Yeah. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, because that's what the thing said behind.
And then she did this, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh, this is like an interactive thing." I was like, "It's," and then she's like, "Hey, you too," and I was like, "This is hilarious." Yeah.
I thought all the cameos are great.
Yeah.
The two of them, Angela Lansbury, Stephen Sondheim, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I can't remember her name now.
Natasha
Leon, thank you.
Yep.
All of them I thought was hilarious.
Well, you gotta talk about Jeremy Renner.
And yes, the Jeremy Renner hot sauce.
Jared Leto
was on the bottle. They name dropped fucking Jared Leto's alcoholic kombucha a million times. Ethan Hawke was the dude with the fucking vaccine spray. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
Daryl.
Trooper Wagner. Yo-Yo Ma. There was a lot. I thought it was great. I thought it was great.
JGL.
Yes. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the Dong was hilarious.
Same. Yeah, it's just all good times.
Yeah.
All good times.
Every cameo I thought it was funny, and I enjoyed them all.
One thing I didn't put together until this movie, that they talked about that they talked about the dock before they got to the island.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
When they were on the boat.
Yeah.
He was like, it's a piece of shit. And I was like, that sounds like he's saying a piece of shit. And that's hilarious. But also, it wasn't spelled that way.
Right. So I was like, because in my head I already knew. And I was like, oh. And I couldn't laugh because I didn't know. I was like, I don't think he got it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Because I was like, I didn't catch that.
He's got a dock that doesn't float.
I was like, I want to laugh because I know what's going to happen later.
Yeah, I think I laughed just because of the way he said it, and he said it a few times.
Yeah,
I was like,
did laugh.
I was like, this is on purpose.
I was like,
I liked it. I was like, this is on purpose.
It's like, I know it's going to come up later.
Like, it's either just a gag or the fact that it was like coming up out of the water as they approached. I thought that was cool looking. I'm like, was it a Banksy? He's like, it's a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit. And I was like,
he was like, oh, is that the island of Greece? And he shook his head, yeah. Or is that the Greek, whatever? And he said, yeah. And so like you laughed, and then like you stopped laughing, and then they showed it, and I was just like, okay, maybe he doesn't get it.
That was
and
good.
The fact that it was Tucson, it was the same guy who called. He was like, no, we can't do it because it's a piece of shit. He's like, a piece of shit. And I was like, this is hilarious. That was good. That was so fucking good.
Yes.
This movie's great. So to anybody who thinks that it's not as good as the first one, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Oh, and the only murder you committed with any sort of panache. You stole the idea from me. Hilarious.
Same.
Because when they were upstairs, like, this is akin to you putting a loaded gun on the table and turning the lights out. I was like, this is good.
You keep saying you weren't trying to guess it, but
like,
every time you're like, I don't know. I thought it.
Because then it happens. Because like as he says it, I was like, okay. Because that's definitely something that would happen in like a murder mystery movie. And then he starts like freaking out, like, someone tried to actually kill me. Well, at 10 o'clock, I was going to have like a 20-minute period where, and then the lights go out. I was like, this guy's a fucking idiot. This guy's a goddamn moron.
Oh, but you didn't think he was gonna do?
Because like he's explaining,
but you thought
he's like explaining all
him.
these like tropes.
Yeah.
He's like all these like murder mystery tropes, and then he like literally just does all of it after he says it. And I was like, this guy's.
But you didn't think, you thought he was gonna get killed.
I still thought he was gonna. I thought he was the one that was gonna be murdered. So they definitely got me with.
They turned it on
twist.
his head.
Yeah, because when like, oh, he grabbed my glass by accident, and then they show it.
The funny thing is, watching it, I saw him do it. I saw him
because I definitely wasn't paying attention.
Same.
Because just like he says, like watch that dress spin. I was like, it's a misdirection.
It is, right?
Yes.
And so I saw it. The first time I watched it, I saw it. I saw him give him the glass. And then when they said it in the movie, I was like, oh, maybe I didn't see that.
Yeah, because
it fucked me up.
Because when they showed him like just reach for the wrong glass, I was like, that's what happened, right? Because I wasn't paying attention to it because I was watching the idiot spin around in a circle.
I felt
like an idiot.
Pam. I was like, who said I didn't see it?
Yeah.
Did Benoit say I didn't see it? Because I saw it.
Jim, I saw it.
Bro, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, he gave him his glass. I was like, oh, I thought he was pouring himself. I was like, okay, whatever. Then he died, and I was like, what? And then he's like, oh, he must have reached for my... And then when it came up, he was like, he must have reached for my glass. I'm like, oh, he didn't. I was like, oh, okay. And they because they showed it to me, and I'm like, oh, I was seeing things.
Yeah, I was like, clearly this is what happened.
Clearly.
And then they show it again, and he like gives him the old okie doke and switches his glass. Yeah.
Fucking knew it.
I want to have Megan watch this movie.
Bitch.
I'm probably going to watch this movie again with Megan so she can see it.
Yeah, I was in the theater like, I fucking knew it.
Going down for this.
Not going down for this. Yeah, but that was the only part. But other than that, no idea.
I like this whole movie from beginning to end.
Same. I agree. With that being said, that was Knives Out. No, that was Glass Onion, a Knives Out
mystery.
Yes. So ironically, it's funny because he talks about a donut hole. In a smaller donuts hole. And this one he talks about a glass onion. A movie that I know you love also talks about onions. Shrek.
Don't.
And they talk about onions in Shrek. And he was like, when you peel back, it's just more and more onion. Because they have layers. Like ogres. Ogres have layers. And the donkey was like,
you know what else has layers?
Parfaits.
Cake.
Parfaits have
Everybody
layers.
like cake.
Everybody like cake. Who don't like cake? What about parfaits? Onions. I love that movie. I was watching some clips of it the other night. Just because. I was just chilling. Watching clips of Shrek. Actually, I was just trying to see the mashup of the songs. It's just a good time, man. You should get more Shrek in your life. Have you seen 2?
Yeah. Isn't 2 the one with the I Need a Hero scene and like the giant gingerbread man and all that shit? Yeah, it's like probably the best part of any of those movies.
I agree. It was a good time. I watched that too. I just watched that again. It was a good time. That's what the step fairy grandmother. Oh, hilarious. I think it was Meryl Streep. Maybe. I don't know. Guess what Daddy is? Daddy is Meryl Streep. All right. Let's go. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you next year.
Yep. That never gets old for me.
Same.
And I love that people get so mad about it.
Pissed. Did you see my dad joke in the group chat?
Which one? Because I probably angry reacted it. To be fair, every time Keith puts a fucking goofy pun or a dad joke in our group chat, I usually hit it with an angry react face.
I only brought that up because you said, I love how people get so mad at that.
Yeah.
Right back at you.
See, when I do it, it's cute.
Hilarious. It's funny because you sent me that.
Yeah.
You sent me that
The
meme.
Obi-Wan beef, yeah.
The day before that, I read something about that whole situation.
Yeah.
Explaining how.
That in itself is an absolute statement.
No, that it wasn't. They were explaining why the way he was saying it wasn't an absolute, and I was like, okay. But it was still funny, though.
Yeah.
But the other one was like, this is why it wasn't an absolute statement. And
So why was it not?
I forgot. Okay. I don't know. Because then I saw yours, and I was like, nah, I don't remember. Anywho, all right. All right, guys, go watch Andor and follow us and stuff. I haven't watched it yet.
What? Andor?
I heard it was a good show.
So did I.
I heard it was really good, actually. I should watch it. I also heard that it's nothing like anything like it. There's no like cameos. There's no like.
Yeah, it's pretty different from what I've watched so far.
Yeah, like there's no like lightsaber battles and stuff.
No, there's no Jedis as far as I'm aware of it.
And you know, it's really funny. A lot of Star Wars people are like, I like this. I'm like, oh, so you don't like any Star Wars stuff now? Nice. So if you make a movie like this, are you gonna like it? Or do you want Star Wars stuff?
I mean, Rogue One was good, and it didn't have a fucking... Well, no, it did. It had one lightsaber. At the very end.
And it was amazing.
A lot of work.
And some people said it was terrible. I've seen it. I've seen it online. People who are terrible. The terrible people said it was terrible.
That's the best Darth Vader we got.
That's the only best. Yeah, that. And then in Ewan, whatever that show was called.
Yes, and in Obi-Wan. Yeah.
Obi-Wan, yeah. Just Ewan. We can call it Ewan. That's fine. Ewan McGregor.
I mean like in the suit Vader, because technically when Anakin was killing younglings, he had already been dubbed Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I'm pretty sure he
didn't. But we didn't get to see him kill younglings.
No, but like, because didn't he like dub him Darth Vader like right after he killed Mace? After he shot Mace Windu out the window. Yeah, because then he went and killed the younglings. He fucking fought Obi-Wan. That was Darth Vader.
Yeah, he was Darth,
but he wasn't a robot.
Robot.
Robots.
I've been watching that too. All right, let's get out of here. This has been Keith,
and this has been Chris, and we are out of here like this year.
Yeah, until next year, guys. Stay safe. I don't know.
Don't drink and drive on New Year's Eve, please, or ever, but especially on New Year's Eve. It's fucking amateur night. It's one of those amateur night drinking holidays where everybody goes out and gets shit faced, and people get in car accidents and die. So don't do it. Be safe.
I feel like all drinking holidays are like that.
Yes.
Okay.
This one, fair. Cinco de Mayo, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day, all the summer holidays basically, and then St. Patrick's Day and New Year's Eve.
I feel like all of our holidays should be in the summer. I think we'd have better times.
I don't know. I don't like it when it's hot. Holidays in the summer, but everything happens inside where the air conditioning is. I'm down.
But having it in the winter can't really do much.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I want to be able to barbecue all my holidays.
I mean, grill's hot. It's a grill outside.
Have you grilled outside in the snow?
I don't grill.
See, therein lies the rub.
The grill
the
keeps
game
you warm.
Is afoot.
The grill warms you.
Listen, it does not.
You light the grill, and the grill lights you.
Yeah, okay.
The grill lights you back.
Yeah, it don't. It don't.
Well, it shouldn't.
All right, let's bye. We're out of here.